Welcome back to the Dragon Den. My loyal Dragonites, King of Dragons 5000 is back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Venompool Build-A-Figure. And so here we have Venompool fully assembled and on my rotating display stand, and as you can see, he looks very good. Before we have a look at the figure, let's run through his accessories. Venompool will come with two very massive pairs of hands, as well as his oversized katanas and the scabbards for that. Other than that, Venompool doesn't come with any other accessories, so with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at Venompool. So here we have a closer look at Venompool, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of my favorite Build-A-Figures that Hasbro has produced. Venompool has a lot of rich details that bring out so much out of the character, and it looks impressive. Taking a look at his head sculpt first, as you would expect, it is a combination of both Deadpool and Venom. The black parts of the mask are meant to simulate the symbiotic eyes, but you can still see Deadpool's white eyes here. One thing I love is the Frankenstein stitches that we see painted really nicely in silver. And a carryover from Venom, we do have these really sharp teeth which look really good, and the purple tongue coming out of the mouth is done very nicely. And you can see that the mask is textured going all the way around, which is a really good detail, and I especially love the little nub on the back of his mask. Taking a look at his torso, you can see that he still has your traditional Deadpool red and black outfit. The red parts of his costume are nicely textured and it carries over beautifully here. Surprisingly, the red paint that they use is actually really good and does a good job color matching the red plastic for his head. The black plastic is a little bit glossy here, which is understandable and does a really good job contrasting the matte finish of the red parts. And going throughout his torso, you can see once again we have those Frankenstein-like stitches, which once again are painted really nicely in silver. His shoulder straps do go down to the belt, and they are sculpted pretty nicely with a silver buckle painted in the center. On the back of the costume, you can see it's almost like his spine is ripping out of his flesh, however, unfortunately, it's not painted. Venompool does have these muscular shoulders which look really good, and the striation in the muscles is actually done really well. Going on to his biceps, you can see the separation of the reds and black in his costume, once again having that Frankenstein stitch work. And just like with the rest of his outfit, his arms have that really rich texture that goes all the way from his biceps all the way down to his hands. Venompool does have these shackles which are done in gray plastic, and you can see a chain on each shackle. And at the tips of each fingers we do have claws which unfortunately aren't painted, but they are sculpted on. Venompool has your traditional Deadpool belt which looks really good, and I like the pouch work that we see here. The Deadpool insignia is big and round and is painted fairly cleanly. I would have just loved to see some more silver paint here on the buckles of each of his pouches. Taking a look at his legs, once again we do have that really nice black coming down to his hip, which is done in black paint. And just like we've seen throughout the costume, we have these silver Frankenstein staples holding the costume together. And one nice feature that I like about the figure is that his legs are pretty stumpy when you compare him to the rest of his body. And it's fairly consistent with the texturing on the reds part of his costume looking really good here. On his right leg, they did give him a singular pouch which is actually sculpted really nicely, and I especially love the paintwork that went into the buckles. Just like with his wrist, his ankles have shackles which are sculpted beautifully, and once again we have a singular chain link on each shackle. And then finally we do have his shoes, which are also sculpted with that really nice texture, but we also get these black tips at the end of his toes. So overall, Venompool will look really impressive, and the sculpt and detail in him is top notch. And for the most part, the paint is relatively clean, where I have very little issues with the paint. With the paint and details out of the way, let's get Venompool compared to our usual suspects. Here we have Venompool posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and DC Multiverse Superman, Mattel's WWE Elite Series and Mezco's 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man, the Lightning Collection White Ranger in the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Venompool isn't the biggest Build-A-Figure that we've gotten, but he's still pretty massive compared to other Marvel Legends figures. With his comparisons out of the way, let's have a look at Venompool's articulation. Venompool does have a ball joint in the head and a hinge in the neck. Arms go out to the side and do a full 360. A swivel in the bicep and a single hinge in the elbow. Hinge and swivel at his wrists. Venompool does have an ab crunch as well as a waist swivel. His legs do kick forward, go back, out to the side, and have a thigh swivel. Venompool does have a double bend in his knee. Finally, we do have a hinge in the ankle and forward-facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, Venompool will have some impressive articulation despite being a very massive figure. His articulation works perfectly and there's nothing hindering any part of his movement. So with everything said and done about the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Venompool, let's get him posed for my final thoughts. So taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Venompool, I will say he's one of my favorite Build-A-Figures that Hasbro has ever made. The amount of sculpted detail here on Venompool is rather impressive, and it's something you wouldn't really expect out of Hasbro. But Hasbro absolutely delivered here with Venompool, giving him so much detail, it's really hard to find anything to complain about in terms of paint and detail. In some areas the paint might be a little bit sloppy and the blacks really don't color match as nicely as the reds, but overall everything works here for Venompool. I do like the fact that the katanas can store in the sheaths with the blades facing up, which is the proper direction, and I love the way they fit in his hands. And the interchangeable hands do a really good job giving Venompool a lot of great style pose options, and they look really good here. This was a figure that Hasbro could have easily just painted over the Monster Venom body and called it a day, but Hasbro went the extra mile sculpting a brand new figure. The major drawback to Venompool nowadays is getting an authentic one can be a little bit pricey. Seeing as how Venompool is a much older Build-A-Figure and he did come out several years ago, getting an authentic one might be kind of hard to track down. However, I have seen some knockoff listings on eBay for about $50, so if you're okay getting a knockoff figure, I think of $50 is pretty fair. However, my Venompool isn't fake, as he is a genuine article and I absolutely love the way he looks in my collection. If you can get your hands on Venompool and you're a huge fan of Deadpool and all his shenanigans, you're probably gonna love this figure. So with that being said, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out the rest of my Marvel Legend and Deadpool videos. If you're in a position to help out the Dragon Den, check out my Patreon where I have some exclusive content and early access videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my loyal Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm KingofDragons 5000 reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.